Vasudeva. Narayanam namaskrityam naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam udiraye. Before reciting Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisance unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayana, unto Narayan Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Śrīla Vyasadeva, the author of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtiki. By regular attendance in the classes on Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam and by rendering service unto the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. Guruve Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha. Namaha Pankajanaabhaya Namaha Pankajamaline Namaha Pankajanetraya Namaste Pankajangriye Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devakinandanaya Cha Nandagopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for joining. We are reading Grantraj Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 8, Chapter 10, the battle between the demons and the demigods. Very, very interesting chapter, very, very wonderful story. So we have been reading in this canto. The first section was the story of Gajendra until chapter number 4. And then from chapter 5 onwards, actually, this is one of the bigger sections of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. The story of Samudra Manthan, and then how Indra loses his power, and then Samudra Manthan, and so many incarnations, and then the nectar distribution, and then now the battle. So yesterday we were discussing that how the battle, both the parties were ready to fight. What weapon did the demigods had? Who will answer that question? What was the main weapon of demigods?
Shelter to the Lord.
Shelter to the Lord, yes. Anyone remembers the exact words in Sanskrit?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. It was Narayana Padashraya.
Narayana Padashraya. And what was the opposite words used for the demons?
It was Narayana Paramukha.
Paramukha, Vasudeva Paramukha or Narayana Paramukha. Very nice. So we learned those differences between the divine and the demoniac. So the main weapon of devotees is the shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord. Narayana Pada Ashraya. So now both the parties are ready to fight. And what is the main cause of fight in this world? Who knows the answer? Or how can the fighting be stopped?
If the intelligent people take to Krishna consciousness.
Very nice. That's the last line of the purport we read. It cannot be stopped unless intelligent persons from both sides take to Krishna consciousness. In short, if they take to Krishna consciousness, then fighting will be stopped. So, very nice. Let's now move on to next verse, chapter 10, text number 7. Shankha-turya mridanganam bheri damaraninam mahan hasti ashwaratha patina nadattam nishvano bhavat. Translation by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Shri Prabhupada ki Jai. The sounds of the conch shells, bugles, drums, dheris, and damaris, kettle drums, as well as the sound made by the elephants, horses, soldiers, who were both on the chariots and on the foot, were tumultuous. So, we have read this in the Bhagavad Gita also, the first chapter, setting the scene or observing the armies. In that also we read the sounds of different conch shells and kettle drums, etc. Basically, showing in a graphic way, in a vivid way, that this was not an ordinary, two neighbors fighting. It was a very, very big fight. Very, very big fight with lots and lots of soldiers and military and forces, elephants. And so just the onset of the war has happened between the demons and the demigods, and all these sounds were tumultuous. In the Bhagavad Gita, we read that when Kauravas blew their conch shell, nothing happened much on the Pandavas side, although Kauravas were very great in number. But when Pandavas blew the conch shell, headed by Kṛṣṇa's conch shell, anyone knows Kṛṣṇa's conch shell name?
Panchadatta.
Panchajanya, very nice. Who knows the name of conch shell of other Pandavas?
Prabhuji, it was Devdatta for Arjuna.
Can I say
Ananta Vijaya.
Kṛṣṇa wants to say. Yes, Kṛṣṇa, please tell.
Ananta Vijaya for Yudhishthira, Pondra for Bhima, Devadatta for Arjuna, Saghosha for Nakula, and Mani Pushpaka for Sahadeva. Thank you, Prabhu.
Good job. Very nice.
Very nice.
So, with those, I'll share my screen here. In case. Krishna's conch shell name, Panchajanya, Arjuna's Devadatta, Yudhishthira's Ananta Vijaya, Bhima's Pondra, Nakula's Sughosha, and Sahadev, Mani Pushpaka. So, the message here is that when the transcendental conch shell of Krishna blew, the hearts of Kauravas shattered, which shows that another sign of Pandava's victory. So, because wherever there is dharma, yatra yoga, and wherever there is, the victory will be there. So, because Krishna comes to re-establish dharma. So wherever there is the great warrior like Arjuna, or the great devotees, demigods, etc., then the victory is certainly ascertained. So now let's come back to chapter 10 and read the next verse. Anyone has any other comments, questions in this text before we move on? Okay, let's read the next verse. Text number 8. Raise your hand if you haven't got a chance and you want to read, please. Amsilas Flow, you want to read?
Yes, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam, everyone. Text 8. Ratino rati bistatra patibhi sahapattaya haya hayer ibhase bhai samasha samyujye. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. On that battlefield, the charioteers fought with the opposing charioteers, the infantry soldiers with the opposing infantry, and the soldiers on the horseback with opposing soldiers on horseback, and the soldiers on the back of elephants with the enemy soldiers on elephants. In this way, the fighting took place between equals. So it looks like the armies on both the demons and the demigod side were equally matched with those infantry soldiers. Those are the soldiers on foot, then soldiers on horse, then there are soldiers on elephants. So all of them are fighting equals, and they're following some rules, unlike today's warfare where there are no rules. There are the stronger parties even attack the ones that are not matching. So it looks like at least some rules are being followed. Thank you, Prabhuji. Please, if you'd like to add or correct.
Thank you. Yeah, there is still, as you said, even in the war, there are rules, and almost all of them used to follow them. So I think it's pretty clear, but just that, for example, a person on the horseback would not try to kill a person on foot. A person on the elephant would not, try to kill a person not on the elephant. So that's the kind of point here to fight. The fight was amongst the equals. So let's see what happens. Who wins in this fight? Yes, text 9 was not read yesterday or today. Raghu Prabhu?
Yeah, I can read.
Yeah, please, everyone, I request, if you're eager to read, please raise your hand so it's easy for me to, the flow goes on smoothly. So I'm not asking the same question after every verse. I appreciate your enthusiasm. Yes.
Okay. So, Hare Krishna devotees, text 9. Ustraya kechid ibai kechid apare yujudu karya kechid gauram muker raksher divipibir haribir batam. Translation by His Divine Grace, S.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Some soldiers fought on the backs of camels, some on the backs of elephants, some on asses, some on white-faced and red-faced monkeys, some on tigers, and some on lions. In this way, they are all engaged in fighting. So it looks like they used the resources of all the animals. Looks like they all got involved in the fighting, not just between demigods and demons, but they use the animals also. Thank you. Back to you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Nowadays, there are different cars, smaller cars, bigger cars. But the demigods and the demons have natural cars, organic. Their vehicles, no pollution, nothing. But it's interesting, white-faced, red-faced monkeys, which these must be big monkeys. I mean, let's imagine they're carrying these big demigods and demons who are carrying the Mount Mandar, who were strong people. They were not like tigers, so. Of course, we cannot understand with our limited understanding, but we can imagine that it's just all. Shukdev Goswami is mentioning all these, and it's a great way to tell stories. So when we tell a story, it's not, okay, there was just fighting and then demons won or demigods won, whatever. Attention to detail adds to rasa, adds to authenticity. So it basically paints such a beautiful picture in front of our eyes that what must be going on in this fighting. Although we are not present there, but we still feel that we are present there, right? All of you feel that? Just imagine on sides, some are on the elephants, and the conches are blowing, the kettle drums are blowing, and they're all making wonderful sounds and tumultuous, and thousands and millions of animals are there and people are seated on their backs. So what must be going on? So we can all kind of have a picture's view of this whole battle on the banks of the bed of the ocean of milk, Shitasagar. So
But they have to be able to train all these animals, right? I mean, the special animals in a way.
yes. They had special powers also. So certainly. Okay. Aparna, madam, you really want to read? You raise your hand and then put it down. I'm not sure if you want to read. Oh, it's a long one. Is that why you put your hand down? Okay. Maybe next one you can read. Okay. Yes, Moksha Mataji, you want to read?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Hare Krishna Mataji. Text 10 to 12. Gradhir Kanker Bakir Ane Senya Bashes Timingila Sara Bhagir Mahishasa Gadagair Go Varser Gavayaru Niha Seva Bhir Aku Bi Kechit Karkaleshi Sasair Narahi Bhastir Eke Krishna Sarer Hameser Anye Cha Sukha Rih Anye Jala Satla Ka Gih Satver Virakta Virgya Senya Yor Vibhuyo Rajan Vivishuste Grata. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. O King, some soldiers fought on the back of vultures, eagles, ducks, hawks, and bhasa birds. Some fought on the backs of timingalas, which can devour huge whales. Some on the backs of sarabhas, and some on buffalo, rhinoceros, cows, bulls, jungle cows, and arunas. Others fought on the back of jackals, rats, lizards, rabbits, human beings, goats, black deer, swans, and boars. In this way, mounted on animals of water, land, and sky, including the animals with deformed bodies, both the armies faced each other and went forward. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, back to you.
Wow, this is really extraordinary. So in text number 9, 10, 11, and 12, all the carriers are mentioned. So practically no species are left. Not just land animals, not just water animals, so land, water, and sky. The Timingala are here also referred, which they could devour huge whales. There's a fish, type of fish called timi, which can devour whales. And the fish which can devour timi, in Hindi we say timi ko jo gale mein rakh le, wo timingala. Gala is neck, kantha. It means the fish which can even devour timi fish is timingala. And timi fish can devour whales, so what to speak of timingala, which can devour even the bigger whales. So in short, there were a lot of extraordinary birds, fishes, and land animals, lizards, rabbits and human beings, and practically everyone was there. No one was kind of deprived or was not part of this battle. Just to show that how big this battle must be. Okay, let's continue to read next set of verses. Yes, Maswati Mataji, you want to read?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam to all devotees. Text 13 to 15. Chitra Dhvaja Patai Rajan Atapatraya Sitamalai Mahadhaner Vrajra Danader Vayajaner Barha Chamaraiha Bhatodhutotaros Archirvir Varmabhushanah Sphuradvir Vishadhyah Shastreya Shutaram Shurya Rasmivihi Deva Danava Viranam Dhvajinayu Pandunandana Rejatur Vira Malavir Yadasam Eva Sagarao. Translation by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. O King, O descendant of Maharaja Pandu, the soldiers of both the demigods and demons were decorated by canopies, colorful flags, and umbrellas with handles made of valuable jewels and pearls. They were further decorated by fans made of peacock feathers and by other fans also. The soldiers, their upper and lower garments waving in the breeze, naturally looked very beautiful, and in the light of the glittering sunshine, their shields, ornaments, and sharp, clean weapons appeared dazzling. Thus, the ranks of soldiers seemed like two oceans with bands of aquatics. So here, Shukadev Goswami is explaining to Parikshit Maharaj about how the soldiers of both demigod sides and demon sides are decorated and how they look, how that's all. Here is very beautiful explanations. And here, Parikshit Maharaj is called a descendant of Maharaja Pandu because Parikshit Maharaj is the son of Abhimanyu and the grandson of Arjun. So that's why Shukadev Goswami is asking, telling him descendant of Maharaja Pandu. Back to you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mataji. So in the previous few verses, we discussed about the carriers. These set of 3 verses talk about the decorations, how they were, the flags were decorated, and the canopies, and the jewels, and the garments, and the peacock feathers, and other kinds of feathers, etc. In short, it was very like, again, Shukdev Goswami is like painting this whole beautiful or this lila in front of all the readers of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, as if we are present there, right there. And I think I mentioned before also, this is an art of storytelling also, to describe the details, to go in the details, because Shukdev Goswami has mentioned multiple times Parikshit Maharaj has mentioned multiple times to Shukdev Goswami, I want to know in detail. And that's a sign of a sincere seeker, that they want to know in detail, because they're eager to hear. And it grabs our attention. it grabs our, it helps us to be in that pastime, to be in that more. And it's not that, okay, it was just a fight between demons and, he could have said that, but no. Just imagine how beautifully Shukdev Goswami is narrating. And as parents, teachers, well-wishers, whatever outreach, we should also try to follow these footsteps and try to describe the finer details. Like if I tell you a story, okay, there was a king, there was a queen, and then they had a fight, and then this happened, and then the end. But when we tell, 20 years back, there lived a king named, Ram Vijay, and he had a son whose name was Govardhan. So, then the attention would grow much deeper. The authenticity, the attention, describing the details. So we should also try to follow these footsteps to help paint a picture to the audience or the reader. Any other thoughts, comments anyone has? Yes, Aparna Madam, you want to read the next verse, 16? We're all together. If you need help with the Sanskrit, me or my wife can read for you. You want to read, you can unmute and please.
Hare Krishna. Verkano valaha sankaya so suranam kamli pateh yanam vayasam namaha kama gamaya niramtam sarva sangrami kopatam sarvaskeri yam prabho apratarkayam anirdesham darasam mamanam adarsanam ashistha tadvim graham sarvani kadapyar vartaha bala vejna chatragrahi Raji Chandra Yo Vidaha Yuvodehe. Translation for the text. For that battle, the most celebrated commander-in-chief, Maharaja Bali, son of Virokina, was seated on a wonderful airplane named Vihasa. O king, this beautiful decorated airplane had been manufactured by the demon Maya and was equipped with weapons for all types of combat. It was inconceivable and indescribable. Indeed, it was sometimes visible and sometimes not. Seated in this airplane under a beautiful protective umbrella and being fanned by the best of cameras, Maharaja Bali, surrounded by his captain and commanders, appeared just like the moon rising in the evening, illuminating all directions.
Thank you so much. It didn't seem like you were reading for the first time. You were so natural. Thank you. So this
Thank you.
Thank you. This first the whole first section of this chapter, or quite a significant portion of this chapter, is basically setting the scene, like the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita, has beautiful description of who were present on the Pandava side, who were present on the Kaurava side, the flag, the conch, etc. This chapter is quite similar about this battle. So now, we have discussed about the carriers, we have discussed about the decorations. Now we come to the soldiers on each side, and we start with the demon side, and we start with the king of the demons. The commander-in-chief was Bali Maharaj, the son of Virochana. Who was the father of Virochana? Who knows?
Prahlad Maharaj.
Prahlad Maharaj, the great Prahlad Maharaj. Who was the father of Prahlad Maharaj?
Hiranyakashipu.
Hiranyakashipu. Who was the father of Hiranyakashipu?
Kashyap Muni.
Yes. So he had a special plane. Why? Yasya. And the Maya Danav had made that plane. So demons also have, it's not that demons are less intelligent or they have less skills. The problem, Ravana had lot of intelligence. Ravana had lot of skills. But the point is they want to use it against the Lord. So just imagine the kind of weapons, the kind of airplane he had, the kind of power he had. When all this, when Mohini Murti had distributed the nectar, and then they started to envy each other. And the demigods said, well, what can we do? We don't have anything. I mean, she came, you trusted her, you gave the pot to her, what we got? She gave to us, why are you kind of troubling us? You gave the pot to us, we didn't ask you to give the pot. Now why are you getting angry upon us? So, and then said, well, what do you think, you have drank nectar so you can save our wrath? We will show you. That's how this kind of battle started. Even if we have not drunk the nectar, but we have a lot of strength to fight you all. We will prove who is who. So now Bali Maharaj is seated in his beautiful chariot, appearing like a moon, and has a lot of strength, a lot of followers, a lot of military phalanx. So let's see. But the important lesson is that demons, it's not that demons means poor, or it's not that demon means less intelligent, but the demon is using things or using skill for non-Krishna consciousness or against the devotees of the Lord. Okay. Yes, let's want to read. Yes, Kṛṣṇa Mataji, please.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Donald Pranam devotees. Text 25. Airavatam Dikkarinam.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Can you please read 19, which is on the screen?
Yeah, I'm reading, Prabhuji.
No, you said 25.
19, okay. Oh, sorry. Tasyasan sarvatoyanair yuthanam pataya asura namuchi asambarabano viprachitir ayamukha dvimruddha kalanabhotha prahetir ilbhala sakunir bhutasantapo vajradamstro virachano hayagriva sanskusira kapilo megha dundubhi तारकस चक्रदृक् असुम्भ निशुम्भ जम्भ उत्कल अरिष्टो अरिष्टानेमिश्च मयश्च त्रिपुरधिप अन्ये पौलोमा कालेया निबात कवचादय अलब्ध भागा सोमस्य केवलं क्लेश भागिन सर्व एते रणमुखे बाहुसो निर्जितामरा सिंहनादन विमुनाचन्त शङ्खान् दद्मुर् महारावण दृष्ट्वा सपत्नान् उत्सिक्तान् बलभित् कुपितो भ्रशम्. Translation by Divine Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Surrounding Maharaj Bali on all sides were the commanders and captains of the demons sitting on their respective chariots. Among them were the following demons: Namuchi, Sambara, Bana, Viprachiti, Ayomukha, Dvimurtha, Kalanabha, Praheti, Heti, Ilvala, Sakuni, Bhuta Santapa, Vajradamstra, Virochana, Heyagriva, Sankusira, Kapila, Megha Dundhubi, Taraka, Chakradrika, Sumbha Nisumbha, Jambha, Utkala, Arishta, Arishtanemi, Tripuradhipa, Maya, the sons of Pulama, the Kalayas, and Nibata Kavacha. All of these demons had been deprived of their share of their nectars and had shared merely in the labor of churning the ocean. Now they fought against the demigods, and to encourage their armies, they made a tumultuous sounds like the roaring of lions and blew loudly on their conch shells. Balavit Lord Indra, upon seeing the situation of his ferocious rivals, became extremely angry. So it's again describing about all the demons who are surrounding Bali in the procession, and so they are creating very loud sounds. So by seeing all this, Indra is getting angry. Back to you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. This is Maharaj Bali. Vali in Mahabharata or in Ramayana, that's different. So that was Bali. This is Maharaj Bali. It's the son of Virochana, the grandson of Prahlad Maharaj. And we will see one of the very famous Leela of Lord Vaman later, I believe, in this canto. But yeah, as you mentioned nicely, all the soldiers. So first the main head was mentioned, Maharaj Bali. And now all the others who are gathered to fight on the side of demons. Why are they fighting also? Well, we worked so hard, but we didn't get nectar. Why? Because they didn't take shelter of Kṛṣṇa. So in short, in material world, you may work very, very hard. Like these demons, they shared merely in the labor of churning the ocean. It's an important lesson that if we don't take to Kṛṣṇa consciousness, we will only be Shrama eva hi kevalam. Dharma sunishtita pumsam vishvaksena katha suya navatpad yadirate Shrama eva hi kevalam. So that's what happened exactly, right? Shrama eva hi kevalam. Merely they churned the nectar, the ocean. Did they get anything? They did not get anything. Similarly, those people who do not take shelter of Krishna, they will be churning hard. It's not that material life will be easy upon them. Material life, the laws of material world apply for everyone. So much hard struggle, prakriti sthani karshati, job, family, business, health, insurance, this, that, diseases, COVID. So much struggle is there. But and ultimately, what's the result? Life is a preparation, death is an examination. At the time of death, at the end, the non-Krishna consciousness person, what does he get? Nothing. The wealth is gone, the family is gone, the beauty is gone, the house or property or wealth is gone. So what does he have in the end? Nothing. Correct? But those who take shelter of Krishna, they have the topmost wealth. Vasudeva Padashraya. That wealth which no one can steal. That wealth which will go with us eternally. That's the real nectar. They will not be deprived of the nectar. But the demons were deprived of the nectar of Krishna consciousness, of bhakti, of surrender unto the Lord. And they were just merely busy in labor, working hard. So, intelligent people take to Krishna consciousness. Intelligent people understand this. That yes, I have to take care of my family, I have to take care of my job, business, my health, etc. But that's not the real thing. That's not the real nectar. The real nectar is Krishna consciousness. So I must do my dutiful work in this world, whatever my job, business, family, whatever my roles and responsibilities are, in a dutiful way. But if I just do those, ignoring Guru, Sadhu and Shastra, ignoring Krishna, ignoring spiritual master, then my situation will be no different from the demons merely in the labor of churn. So I want to take shelter of Guru, Sadhu and Krishna. I want to take shelter of Krishna consciousness. So I have the nectar at the end of my life. Any comments, questions, additions in this? So let's see. This is the description on the demon side. Let's see what, actually it's almost time. Any other comments, questions? Anyone has additions? Before we pause, stop for today. 432389. Can you please reveal your identity? Someone has joined using this special number. Do you mind unmuting and speaking? Okay. Okay. Any other? Yes, I think you unmuted. Yes, you want to please tell your name, where you're joining from? If you're speaking, we can't hear you. Okay. Yeah. I really want to kind of, yes, please try to speak. See, yes, Hare Krishna. Now we can hear you. If you could speak a little closer to the microphone. Oh, Hare Krishna. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Namaste. I'll call you. मैं आपसे बाद में बात करता हूँ. I'll call you. Okay, so we will pause here and continue tomorrow with the next verse. Grantraj Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Purana ki jai, Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Vasudeva Pada Ashrayam Bhakta ki jai. Samavita Gaura Bhaktivinoda ki jai. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyaiva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namo. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Bol. Thank you.